Today we talk about The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley, and I need to preface this by saying I don't agree with what Aldous Huxley did. I don't think you should do exactly what he did, but we're going to analyze it and just pick out the interesting parts, because the overall point of the book is Aldous Huxley takes mescaline, a very early psychedelic drug, to find a spiritual, sort of journey, spiritual fulfillment. And you don't have to do that. You can do meditation, you can do other methods. So keep that in mind as we go through this book. But the first part of the book is the doors of perception. And to summarize what the doors of perception is about is to basically think about the idea that everyone thinks that your nervous system observes what the world is. But the truth is that our nervous system filters what the world is. Like, there's so much information, there's so much data, there's so much things around us that we would be overwhelmed, we would be bombarded if our nervous system didn't cater this imaging, this messaging, all of these stimuli that are coming to us at all times of the day. And it's only when we are in heightened states of consciousness that we can observe everything, that we can feel everything, that we can see everything, that colors get brighter, that things are experienced at a higher level. And in this book, this is what Aldous Huxley does. He takes mescaline, but you don't have to do this. You can meditate, you can do mindfulness practices, you can calm yourself down, you can get to what the Buddhists call no mind, the state of no mind, the state that your mind is empty and that you can accept everything. The Taoists have a similar philosophy, and it's very interesting to see Aldous Huxley figure this out and have these like mystical spiritual experiences. And he goes much further into the second half of the book. So the book is broken up into two sections. It's first the doors of perception, and then second his essays of heaven and hell. And in the essays of heaven and hell, he has a very, very interesting point, and it makes a whole lot of sense. And the point is that before refrigeration, before preservatives, before we could store vegetables and fruit, we really weren't eating those kind of nutrients that we need, and we were basically fasting for half the year. So during these periods of great fasts, during these periods of great hardship, we were experiencing mystical experiences because of the deprivation. And this is a lot of the reason for the religious imagery of the Middle Ages. This is a lot of the reason why we don't have people with the same sort of mystical experiences as we do today. I mean, this is somewhat correct, this is somewhat incorrect, because there are people that have mystical experiences, but now they're just in the form of UFOs. If you look at the UFO phenomena and you look at sightings of Jesus or the Mother Mary, they're pretty much the same. And it's something that nobody's really clicked, like nobody's really gotten that's what it is. But that's a video for another day. But this is a very, very interesting book, and it's all about the mystical spiritual experiences. And my overall takeaway from this book is that it's very interesting to see one of the greatest authors ever kind of just take this experiment up on his own. And it's very interesting to see his results, because you can get the exact same results through practicing meditation. You can get the exact same results through fasting, through other religious practices. And it's something that, I really urge you to take that route, because it's one thing to take something and then feel something. It's one thing to drink and have fun. It's another to have genuine fun. And that's my whole point with this. Like, you can have these spiritual experiences, you can have these enlightened experiences, you can have these moments where everything seems to fade to the background and you feel absolutely everything. You feel the wind blowing through the trees, colors get brighter, everything around you falls into place, and you don't have to do anything. And that's my whole point with this, and that's what I was thinking throughout this book. It's like Aldous Huxley is experiencing what I experience on a daily basis, and he's saying it's like something that's far beyond us. He's saying it's something that's unattainable, but the truth is you can find all of these things through your normal life. And it's really, really, really an interesting book, because these are topics that are rarely ever talked about. These are topics that are rarely ever explored. You have people like Timothy Leary, who were experimenting with stuff in the 60s, and then his research was basically shut down. You know, some people think it's for good reasons. Some people think that, you know, there was some good that came out of it. You have people like Robert Anton Wilson, who writes Cosmic Trigger and basically explains the entire psychedelic phenomena and explains the entire impressing of circuits at certain ages that influence who we are, and that through difference in experience, through difference in consciousness, through difference in feeling states, we can create different images, and we can impress ourselves with different ideas and improve ourselves for the better. And it's a very similar idea of what Huxley's talking about. And it's cool to see, you know, someone that is so well respected, you know, he's sold so many books, talk about these ideas, and it's really cool and awesome that Aldous Huxley would open himself up to such, you know, what is it, bad publicity, bad media, such sort of attacks on his character. And you know, it's awesome. And the weirdest thing about this book is not Aldous Huxley taking mescaline. The weirdest part about the book is that one of my favorite authors says he has a hard time creating images in his head. He has a very hard time imagining things. So like the entire time you're reading Brave New World, he's struggling to even picture these things himself. Meanwhile, for me, it's like instantly. And I found that so weird because I just assumed that every single great author, every single great writer could imagine things in the blink of an eye. And it was interesting. So now I wouldn't say I'm upset. I wouldn't say I'm like taken aback, but like it's just something that I didn't expect. So yeah, I love this book. Very, very good book. If you read this book and like it, I think you should pick up Cosmic Trigger next, because I think Cosmic Trigger goes much more into the psychology of what Huxley's talking about, whereas this is more artistic. This is more symbolic. This is more talking about colors and shapes and forms, and it's not really going to tell you why these things are happening. It's not really going to tell you anything. It's just going to tell you about the experience itself, which again is cool. It's a very short book. You can get through it very, very quickly. I really suggest you picking up, because it's just so cool. It's such a cool topic. So I love you guys so much. Peace out. I will catch you in the next one.